Did you know that in the 007 Goldeneye game that was released on the 7th generation of consoles, when Bond enters a nightclub, if he stands on the dance floor, he will nod his head to the music? Hello and welcome back to Hidden Video Game Details, the series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite video games so that you can look really clever in front of your best friend's older sister. As always, if you think you know of a hidden video game detail that I'm yet to cover, then please let me know in the comments down below. Oh, and if you do go on to enjoy this video, then leaving a like would be super appreciated. And if you are a fan of Easter eggs and hidden details in video games, perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So let's begin by revisiting a detail that we featured in the last episode of this series. In that episode, we discovered that in LEGO Batman 2, Superman is invincible. No enemies can hurt the Man of Steel. Well, at least that's what I thought. Loads of you commented that Superman isn't as tough as first thought. Let's see what happens when Supes comes up against an old enemy.
Let's get it!
So General Zod can kill Superman, which is to be expected I suppose, as he's known to give Superman a fight in the comics and movies. Oh, and there is one more character that can hurt Superman. So considering both Superman and Supergirl are Kryptonian, it does make sense that Supergirl can also damage Supes. Oh, and whilst on the subject of that last episode, in that video we also discovered that the limited edition Star Wars Xbox 360 made some pretty funky sounds when you turned it on or opened its disc tray. Well, it turns out that this Xbox from a galaxy far, far away isn't the only Xbox product with a hidden detail or two. This is the Xbox Series X 20th anniversary controller, which was released to celebrate Xbox's 20th anniversary. It's a fancy looking piece of kit, but it's what's on the inside that we're interested in. If you take off the battery cover, you can find the signature of CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer. Below Phil's fancy squiggle is a message that reads, "When everybody plays, we all win." And given the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard, let's see how that message holds up in the coming years. Oh, and I almost forgot, it's not just the controller that's hiding a cool detail. If you shine a black light on the 20th anniversary controller's box, you can see this. So shining a black light on the box reveals the outline of the first ever Xbox controller, affectionately known as the Duke. It's a nice callback to where it all began for Xbox. Next up is another detail from the really not that bad unless you played it on consoles, Cyberpunk 2077. Now a large part of 2077's marketing focused on the various attractive women you could meet in Night City, and arguably none were more attractive than Judy Alvarez. Judy is an ally of V's, though you can be romantically involved if you choose to play as a female. Well, if you did choose to play as male V, don't worry, you can still look at Judy's assets.
Circle around me, swim. Like the view, asshole?
Visual sensors are getting stinned right now. Can't be denied. To think I never realized how fit you were.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
So Judy will realise that V is staring at her bum and ask if he likes the view. I'll let you guys answer that one. Up next is a game that I honestly never expected to feature on this channel. As someone who's from the UK, the game of baseball has just never appealed to me. Don't get me wrong, I don't like our alternative either. Cricket is like watching paint dry, but in the name of details, I downloaded MLB The Show 21 on Game Pass. Now, for large parts of the game, I didn't know what I was doing or even what was going on, but what I do know is hitting a ball in this game felt amazing. So as long as I get to battle game, I'm down to play. Now the detail from MLB The Show that caught my eye can be seen when you're pitching. If you decide to be a spoil sport and not throw the ball, several sort of secret cutscenes will play out. Okay, so I know this isn't a mind-blowing detail, but enough of you guys mentioned it in the comments of previous videos and on my social media accounts that I thought it was worth sharing. So I think it's safe to say that the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition was a bit of a letdown. Okay, it was a massive letdown, but I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Anyway, just because the game is extremely disappointing, that doesn't mean a cool detail can't be found. It just so happens that the detail in question was in the original version of the game too, so make of that what you will. If you head to any gas station in San Andreas, the gas prices at the forecourts will reflect the actual gas prices at the time. It's a small but really cool detail that shows just how much of a keen eye Rockstar had, and hopefully still has, when it comes to attention to detail. Now, when it comes to cool video game details, I'm guessing that poor screens aren't the first things that come to mind. Well, I'm hoping to change that with this detail from side-scrolling puzzle platformer, The Pedestrian. Originally releasing in 2020 on PC and Mac before making its way to consoles later on, The Pedestrian takes place on 2D signs that can be altered to change the route your little stick man can take. It's a pretty clever game, and one that will get you thinking, but it's not just clever in its gameplay. Whenever you pause the game, the pause screen will appear on the nearest TV screen. Okay, don't skip forward, just bear with me. So for example, this level takes place at the top of the screen, but you can see a TV in the background. If you pause the game now, the pause screen will appear on that TV. Here the TV is showing us what button to press, but if we pause the game, that TV is now the pause screen. And finally, when on this level, the TV is just off screen, but pausing the game will show the pause screen there. Listen, I know that 90% of you skipped this detail, but it is a pretty inventive way of implementing a feature that's kind of important in video games. So to end today's video, let's take a look at Dead by Daylight and a detail that shows a surprising amount of love to the source material. Among the many add-ons for the serial killer simulator is the Silent Hill pack, which featured Pyramid Head as the killer and Cheryl Mason as the survivor. Well, if you're willing to stump up the cash, you can buy an alternate outfit for Cheryl, which will transform her from young blonde girl into middle-aged blonde man James Sunderland, the main character of Silent Hill 2. Well, if you wait at the character select screen for a short time, James will do this. So that stretch is the same stretch that James did during the opening cutscene of Silent Hill 2. Like I said, the developers of Dead by Daylight seem to care more about Silent Hill than Konami do. So the final detail for today's video can be seen when waiting in the lobby as Ash from The Evil Dead. If you wait for what is a very long time, Ash will start to get annoyed.
Can we do something here? Come on, kid. Push the button. Are we gonna be here all day? What is this, a staring contest? Come on, let's go.
So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of hidden details and Easter eggs in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.